Hello everyone, it's Shane Kanto, your Wasteland Reviewer, and welcome to Lost in the Wasteland, my weekly interview show where I take a deep dive into somebody else's perspective on movies. And this week, in living color, in person, we have my friend Diana, who is now a fellow writer at SiftPop and Scribe and doing a whole bunch of other stuff, which I'll let her shamelessly plug. But Diana, thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you for having me. It's fun to be in person again.
Yeah. Yeah, that was one of the most interesting things is I could just have my wife come on here in person and just that's easy because we live together.
Yeah.
And then occasionally having some other people on, but the stars aligned and Diana is here. So tell all the lovely people where they can find you.
Yeah, you can find me at Diana Gebbia on TikTok and Instagram. As Shane mentioned, I write for SiftPop and Scribe. Can you tell I had a couple beers? I also recently started writing for the LA Girl, so if you're in LA or if you're thinking about visiting, it's a great lifestyle blog, and we'll tell you about all the cool things to check out. And I have a podcast called Believe in Bravo Besties, so if you're into reality TV, got something for you. Something for everyone, basically.
There you go. I have my Development Hell podcast, and we're very tempted to call it some kind of Jersey Boys podcast.
I love that.
Something like that, because Diana might write for LA Girls, but I am a Jersey boy.
Love that.
So there you go. Except I can't sing. So don't ask me, especially not to sing like Frankie Valli, because that'll end terribly. I might as well be in the Clint Eastwood version of the Jersey Boys.
Wait, there's a funny story. God, this is terrible how I know this. There's a funny story with Danny Elfman. I feel like I know this guy's whole life. He said he was doing a speech. I don't remember what ceremony it was, but he was making a speech and he met Clint Eastwood before, and he said when he made the speech, his voice gave out and he's like, oh my god, Clint Eastwood definitely thinks I'm making fun of him or something.
Well, what the hell are you doing out there, kid? I just imagine that's how that went backstage.
Right?
Little squint, a little intense.
Mm-hmm.
And just what's funny is apparently he's the chillest director in Hollywood.
Yeah.
He's just sitting there, he's like, well, go ahead. And he does one take, that's it.
I watched, they had a reality show, so movies and reality TV, my two loves coming together. I don't remember the name. It was on E, and it was his ex-wife, whose name I forgot, and then his daughter Francesca and his other daughter Morgan. Okay. And they were stepsisters, and it followed them. But he would not be a mainstay on the show. He would be the occasional well, I'm Clint Eastwood and I'm here because I'm contractually obligated for 2 episodes. You know what I mean?
Well, move on.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Yeah.
I wonder if Clint Eastwood will come back up again, because this interview is all about Diana. And this is a second round interview for Diana. So we got through our first round, and this one, the second round interviews are a bit of a mix of watch list questions, music questions, and some other random things thrown in there. But the first 2 I like to call watch list questions. So Diana, what's a film that's been previously released? So it's out in the world. You haven't seen it yet, but you're most excited to check it out.
Okay, this sounds funny, but don't judge me. I recently became a horror fanatic, and there are still so many horror movies that I have not seen yet. So I really need to dig into the Nightmare on Elm Street franchise and the Friday the 13th franchise.
From what I know, I own the first one, and I really like the first one. I heard Dream Warriors. I think that's the 3rd or the 4th. Nightmare on Elm Street is good. Wes Craven's New Nightmare is a meta commentary on his own work, and it kind of was meta before he made Scream. So it's a really interesting one for Nightmare, and I'm not really the biggest fan of Friday the 13th. Friday the 13th.
Okay.
God, I think the last one that I watched was either Freddy vs. Jason, or Jason X, which is in space.
Oh, that doesn't sound very good.
No, it wasn't. Not a great idea.
That's not what we need. Nobody asked for that.
It's
maybe they didn't.
The 2 of them are part of the big 3, and I feel Halloween gets lumped in with them.
Sure.
Even though this is just me being a little snobbish here, but Halloween's on another level. in terms of, like, its quality of a film, and John Carpenter's amazing. Nothing against Wes Craven. I have no idea who directed the first Friday the 13th, to be perfectly honest. It was a schlocky teenage horror movie that didn't even have Jason Voorhees in it.
Right. That I know.
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert.
His mom killed everyone. Because they let him drown. Poor kid, and then he came back with
he comes up at the end. I know this because I watched the movies that made us on Netflix.
Me too. Highly recommend that.
Very good series.
That is a fantastic series. That's one of the things that I watch, like, immediately when that comes out on Netflix. But, so, since Diana's looking for some horror recommendations, go in the comments and leave all your recommendations to scare the shit out of Diana. So
I don't get scared because I'm on antidepressants, but I get intrigued.
So
that sounds terrible.
So Diana has a special power to avoid being scared shitless like me.
Yeah.
Because, God, when I went to go see The Night House in theaters, I was the only one in a 300-person theater, and that scared the
Okay, that's a little intimidating. But I was telling Shane earlier on the drive here, because we just went out for dinner. It was so much fun. I was saying that, like, I recognize I'm like, oh, this is bad during a horror movie. I feel for the characters. I would not want this to happen to me. But it's interesting. Why is this person's brain thinking that way? And also, I'm very interested in the practical effects of it all. Mm-hmm. Like, how did they do this? That's really what intrigues me most about horror movies.
It's interesting because you can get very creative with it. And if you have a great director, they could really do some messed up things to you. Mm-hmm. Now, flipping this one, so a film that hasn't come out yet. What are you most excited to check out?
I'm so excited for Maxine, which I saw.
Oh, yes.
X up there.
Yeah,
I love X.
I haven't gotten...
that beautiful DVD.
Yeah, it's like...
Or is it Blu-ray? I don't know what the kids are doing these days.
I think that one's a Blu-ray.
Okay.
I haven't gotten Pearl yet.
Okay, yeah.
So, I think that just came out on physical media.
Yeah, November, I think.
So, but yeah, Maxine... The trilogy we didn't think we were going to get, nor think that we needed, but we do need it in our lives. Because Ty West just came out of nowhere. I've added a bunch of his movies onto my watch list because I had never seen anything that Ty West did before X. And X blew me away.
Yes.
And then Pearl was great, and I'm just like...
Yeah.
I'm ready for this. Time for the 80s.
So it's funny how I first found out about X and then Ty West. I listened to this podcast called The Boo Crew, and they did an interview with Mia Goth and Brittany Snow. And the reason why I listened to that episode was like, oh, I know who Brittany Snow is. I'm interested. And then I heard about
Pitch
X.
Perfect fame.
Exactly. So I heard about X and I'm like, oh, I kind of want to watch this. And then they kind of spoke about Ty West and the kind of, cinema he does. And I just found him to be so interesting. And I think it was Brittany Snow was the one who said he's one of the up-and-coming directors as well as Ari Aster. And, like, I totally agree with that. Like, I feel like they're almost our new, like, Craven and Kubrick, It's like Ty West, Ari Aster, and... Yeah.
Robert Eggers.
Yes, yeah.
He's my favorite.
Yes.
Did Ty West talk about how they decided on getting somebody when Matthew McConaughey was too expensive to pop up in X?
No, I didn't know about this. Please enlighten me.
Sorry.
No, I'm very excited.
It's a joke because, that one guy in it is 100% a Matthew McConaughey type. And I'm just like,
wait,
Matthew McConaughey definitely was too expensive to get into
the Wayne. Yeah.
I'm just like, if they could afford it, they would have gotten Matthew McConaughey.
He had me in the first half, okay?
Oh, no, seriously, though, I'm just like...
That's so funny, you're right.
That could easily have been Matthew McConaughey.
That's so funny.
Now, this is a very interesting question because I get a variety of different kinds of answers to this. Because generally, people don't like remakes.
Okay.
But what is a film that you think should get remade?
We spoke about this at dinner, and I'm so ready to, unleash this on you guys. I think Don't Worry, Darling needs to be remade, and I need to be the one who remakes it, because I was telling Shane, I have such a love-hate relationship with this movie. The soundtrack is incredible. The aesthetic is everything I aspire to be in life. The story, it is literally, what was Olivia Wilde thinking? We know what she was thinking. She was thinking about Harry Styles the whole time.
Oh my.
So that is where we need me to step in, because I feel like, and I don't want to spoil anything, but the big twist of the movie, I had so much of a better twist. And I feel like if you get my hands on that script, and if you get a camera in front of me, and then people who know how to do other things, because like I can push a button and remember what I learned in documentary class in college.
Diana's just gonna do a rewrite on the script, and then they're just gonna remake it
And make lots of money.
not cast Harry Styles.
No, Harry Styles. Listen, I love Harry Styles as a musician. We are both Aquarius suns, Libra risings, but is acting his strong suit? Absolutely not. No.
The only thing that he lucked out on in that movie is he doesn't have to talk much. But then I saw My Policeman, and then I'm like, crap.
Yeah.
Now I actually have to listen to him talk a lot.
Oh.
But yeah, it's a tricky thing for remakes because, like, Don't Worry, Darling had a lot of potential.
It did.
Those are the things that you remake. That had potential, had a great concept, and just didn't execute well. Don't remake things that are great.
Yes.
Disney.
I agree. Yeah. We're looking at you.
It's because we're all going to see it anyway, and they're going to
Yeah.
make billions of dollars. So we're the problem. There you go. Now, Diana, what's your fondest memory of going to the movies?
It's funny you say that because I do have the fond memories of like going to see Toy Story, It's a Bug's Life with my cousins. But I'm gonna go like recent.
Okay.
And say I really enjoyed going to see Pearl at the Alamo Draft House in downtown Los Angeles because, as I had mentioned earlier, I'm a really big X fan, and I was so excited to see Pearl. And I was like, I'm gonna treat myself. I'm a single woman. I'm gonna do a date night with Diana, and I'm gonna go downtown Los Angeles. I bought a ticket to the Alamo Draft House. I bought myself chips and queso. They had spicy mango cart beer on draft. I got a spicy mango cart beer, and I enjoyed that movie. I reclined back, and it was kind of like the adult, because as a kid you have great memories. That was like my adult great memory of a movie.
There you go. That's like the equivalent of you being a kid and your parents getting you like an icy and a giant popcorn.
Exactly.
And you're just sitting back and watching whatever.
It's like those kids packs, now it's an adult pack.
Yeah, there you go. And I think Alamo Draft House should market that. So if you're not already, yeah, because we want royalties on that. Yes. God, if Alamo Draft House sponsored my YouTube channel, I would shit a brick. It would just be like, what?
Wipe it up.
I wouldn't know what to do with myself.
Oh my god.
Now, Diana, what's a film that really exceeded your expectations?
It's so interesting. I'm just gonna say, which is funny, Scream, because again, I recently got into the whole horror genre, and I didn't know what to expect with Scream. Like, I kind of had an idea, because we grew up, listen, you grew up in the 90s, all the kids at Halloween were going as Ghostface.
Yep.
So, I kind of had an idea what to expect, but the twist, like, I didn't know about the twist. The whole time I thought, spoiler alert, I thought it was just stew. Like,
For a 25-year-old movie.
Listen, I didn't even know.
Well, no, I'm just saying, like, spoiler alert for them. It's just like, if you haven't gotten Scream spoiled for you, you're obviously not paying attention to Scream.
I wasn't paying attention.
So there you go.
So, no, I really thought it was Stu the whole time, but when it was Billy, who, like, by the way, can get it, problematic, can get it, crush, like, I was shooketh. So I really like Scream. Unpopular opinion, I didn't love Scream 2, and I feel like everyone loves Scream 2, and I was like, this is so cheap.
I like Scream 2.
Okay.
I don't love Scream 2. It does feel derivative. Like, it feels like it's trying to play up the same kind of thing. And their biggest mistake was killing Jamie Kennedy. Because it's like, he's supposed to be the one that gets out of it because he knows it so well. And I feel like they just did that for shock. I loved Scream. They came out this year.
I haven't seen it yet. I have to.
And then they just released a teaser trailer for the 6th one in New York on the subway. I'm just like...
I haven't watched it yet, only because I know kind of all Screams can stand alone, but I just want to make, like, especially sure...
Well, here's the thing. This movie has all the characters from the last one.
Okay, I'm not...
Like, Jenna Ortega's in it.
I love
who,
her.
like... Admittedly, I haven't watched Wednesday yet. But I have watched her dance, like, 60 different times.
Oh my god.
On TikTok. I think the best part's like the...
Oh, so good.
And just her stare the whole entire time.
Queen. Love her.
Jenna Ortega's great. And
she's that cover of X, or at least the spine of it. That Scream face?
Yeah, she's the screaming one. So there you go. And then she was in Scream. And then she was in Studio 666. That Foo Fighters horror movie that they made earlier this year. Which, God, that was a thing.
She's also was in season 2 of You on Netflix.
Oh, crap.
She was Ellie, I think her name is.
See, now I'm recognizing the face, because I didn't know who Jenna Ortega was until...
Yeah, she was a little baby then.
Baby. They're all babies.
They grew up so fast.
We're 30 now.
Yeah.
So, just reminiscing about we met in college 12 years ago.
So old.
Did you say I'm old?
No, I said so old.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, I am graying, so there you go. That's okay. Because benevolent sexism usually looks better on men, or at least society says so.
They call you Silver Fox, and I was just like, oh, she got gray, she got to do her roots.
Yeah, it's just like, I'm starting to look like George Clooney. So, there you go. Which, my thing is, if I start going bald, I'm going the Jason Statham route. This is getting shaved off.
Love that.
I'm going to look more like Wilson Fisk than Jason Statham, but it's okay. But, getting back to my questions.
Yeah.
So... Now, this is a tough question because I don't know how much everybody reads. So, like, some people, like Kev on here, like avid readers, some not so much. But what's a written work that you would love to see turned into a film? And written is I use that specifically because that could be a loose loose definition there. So
it's funny you say that because I thought about it and I'm like, when I read, I love autobiographies.
Okay.
Like, that's what I'm most interested in.
So whose biopic are we getting?
No one's. Because I'm like, I don't know if I really care or not. Because, listen, you get a biopic and 9 out of 10 times you're getting the great value version of that person, which...
Or you watch Weird and you get, like, the beefed up, amazing version of Weird Al Yankovic.
Very true.
Purposefully.
I have no interest in either one of those. I want the real deal. So my little workaround loophole of that question was like any director that I love. So I know Molly Elfman. She has a few works that she hasn't produced yet. I haven't read it. Okay. But it's technically a written work that I'd like to see on screen.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, there we go.
See, you got to figure out your workarounds. And I leave that question vague. I've gotten some interesting answers to that. I got the Bible.
Oh.
Here's the thing. Goodfellas, based off of an article.
Interesting.
So, like, you read an interesting article, or even with Zola, it's just a Reddit post.
Oh, you know what? Chuck Palahniuk. I read Invisible Monster, which is interesting because we do have Panic at the Disco songs based off that. That's why I read those books. But it'd be cool to see them turn into movies because now I
see, now she has one.
Now I have one.
There you go.
The magic of live TV.
There you go. Yes, this is unscripted, and we're having a lot of fun doing it.
Yes.
And I do very, very minimal editing because I'm lazy, and I only cut things out if I really feel like I need to.
I feel that deeply.
I have too much stuff to do. But...
Booked and busy.
There we go. So, I have a love-hate relationship with movie trailers, and I feel like a lot of people do. Some people love trailers. Some of them just straight hate them.
Yeah.
I know Dicer at SiftPop does not watch trailers. Like, he walks out or, puts in... completely cuts himself off even sitting in a theater from watching. Yep. So, Diana, what's your favorite movie trailer?
Again, I'm going to sound so biased going back to Ty West, but I really think that Pearl just had such a beautiful trailer. It was physically beautiful, just artistically beautiful, that Technicolor. And it really brought you back to the days of old cinema, which... Everyone who's seen the movie knows that technically the cinema style was later than the time period that the movie took place in because it took place in the late 1800s and this was more of a Wizard of Oz feel, but it really brought you back to that
She even danced with Scarecrow.
Yeah, it brought you back to that whole golden age of Hollywood that I feel like we did not get the privilege of seeing. So seeing that, it was like kind of getting a taste of that and just Mia Goth.
Yep.
Chef's kiss. If she's not nominated for an Academy Award, I have people to talk to.
She's not gonna be, and it's a shame.
I have people to talk to.
Because, come on. You do have Michelle Yeoh for Everything Everywhere All at Once. You have Cate Blanchett for Tar.
Yes.
You have... God, Michelle Williams should not be Best Actress for The Fabelmans. Her name's not Sammy Fabelman. She's a supporting actress, but, category fraud and such. Oh crap, Detweiler, the actress from Till. And that kind of just leaves one spot open.
For the love of goth, give this woman an award.
There you go. You heard it here first. Hashtag for the love of goth. tag the Academy, throw it out there.
Yes.
Tell them it's like, are you cowards? Mm-hmm. If you're not, you vote for Mia Goth.
Hell yeah.
There you go. So, but what was crazy about that trailer, too, is that it was an after the credits scene after X, and everybody's getting up, and I'm like, I heard there's something after this, and I think I was there with my wife and our friend Paige, and they're just like, what would be after this? And I'm like, I heard something. And then we stuck around and the trailer played, and I'm like, oh my God.
And the beauty of it, it's like, it's not what you expect.
No.
It's not the hero that Gotham wants, but it's the hero that Gotham deserves. What is it? Needs or deserve? Whatever. Needs, yeah.
Yes. Batman is the hero that Gotham deserves, but not the one that they need right now.
Yes. Okay, that was Pearl.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
As Mia Goth rides off on the bat cycle into that, like, white knight, and it's just like, and he's our dark knight.
I need that.
Yep. And
Love you, Mia Goth.
Cue Hans Zimmer.
Sis.
There you go. Now, I love asking these questions about music. Because, like, I'm a big fan of music, and I love how music's used in movies.
Yeah.
What's your favorite use of an actual song in a movie?
Oh, okay. So it would be Don't Fear the Reaper, and I feel like it comes up in so many horror movies. So you have it in X, like I mentioned a million times before in movie X.
Yeah, that's creepy.
And it was like the first major kill scene.
Yep.
And just like there's blood splattering everywhere, and it's so interesting cinematically. And I feel like Don't Fear the Reaper just complements it. Then you have a very different side to it in Scream. Yep. Where Billy Loomis is climbing through the window to see Sidney, and you don't know he's one of the Ghostface.
You should have listened to Blue Oyster Cult. They're trying to tell you.
And it's a beautiful, slowed down version, and they have that intimate moment. And it's so, once you watch the movie and you rewatch it, it just takes on a different meaning. And then in Halloween, it was also used when they were driving. So.
There you go.
Yeah.
It's used a lot in horror movies because it's a kind of creepy song.
Yeah.
And you know what's funny is Blue Oyster Cult has very interesting, like, variety of music, as they're the ones who also had Godzilla, which then got covered by Serge Tankian for one of the new Godzilla movies. Yeah. Which that was fantastic. That was so much better than the movie. I have a lot of feelings about Godzilla King of Monsters. Ugh. There should have been 90% less humans. I'm just waiting for that time that we get a Godzilla movie where it's just monsters.
Then it'll be called Godzilla Monsters. That's it.
Yep. Well, they could just take that name from one of the old ones, Godzilla Destroy All Monsters. Okay. And just, that's it. You don't need humans. If you're going to put humans in it, make them interesting. And if you're not going to, then we don't need them.
This message has not been paid for by anyone.
Just me pissed off about Godzilla movies.
Just endorsed wholeheartedly by Shane Conto. Yes.
All my little rants about Godzilla films that I've been watching since I was a kid.
Yes.
Now, thinking about, because that's an actual song put into a film as a choice, I don't know if you spend time listening to scores and stuff like that, but...
He's being sarcastic.
If you need to pick one score to put on, what's it going to be?
I don't know if you've ever heard of this composer. His name is Danny Elfman. And I may not know everything about his life. And I may not have seen him at the Hollywood Bowl and Coachella. But I actually went through a phase which every single day during work I listened to the Edward Scissorhands soundtrack from beginning to end. And Ice Dance is, I always say, when my kid is born, I want Ice Dance playing in the delivery room because there's no better, more beautiful thing to be listening to. I don't care if we have to listen to it 75 times in a row. Like, my kid is going to be born to Ice Dance.
There you go. It has been written, and it shall be. Etched in stone.
Sorry to whoever my husband is. Like, you just got to love that song.
Which... I'm completely shocked by the choice of Danny Elfman as a composer for this question. Not at all. Which it's funny because I just wrote about Edward Scissorhands earlier for my top 10 non-traditional
Christmas song. Yeah.
So you should go check out that article on Scribe Magazine.
To look at it.
There you go. And let me just say, it's one of 3 movies related with Tim Burton on there because apparently Tim Burton and Shane Black. Well, half the list is just Shane Black and Tim Burton related movies, so it's just like, apparently they both have a thing for Christmas.
Yeah.
Tim Burton, Dark Twisted Christmas, and Shane Black, Very Violent Christmas.
Both of those are my favorite kind of Christmases.
There you go. So, now, Diana, my last question for you is, what do you wish movies would stop doing?
Okay, I'm going to bring it back to another film we spoke about, because that seems to be a theme. What I didn't love, one of the many things I didn't love about Don't Worry, Darling, I feel like they wasted too much time on certain shots, and it's like it took away from the overall plot. Listen, I get it. You're a director. You're like, this looks so freaking cool. But what may be cool for you, the audience might not care about. So did we need, I love Florence Pugh, Miss Flo, Team Miss Flo. Did we need her staring into the desert for 20 minutes before she finally makes it up to headquarters in that first scene when she's following the plane? No, we did not. I want all directors to listen to me right now. You might have an inside joke with your friends, right? That you both think is funny, and then when you say it to someone else, they're not gonna get it. That's what it's like when you make these long shots that we don't need. Stop taking away from the stuff we want. Like, I have one friend, God bless her, she texts me, she's like, hi, what's up? And I'm like, get to the point. Like, get to the point, directors. And I wish that we'll cut out the nonsense and get to the point for 2023.
Good thing Stanley Kubrick has passed away. And
may you rest in peace.
And not have to listen to that.
Oh my god, I have an angry pitchfork in front of my house. As
I'm writing an article for Scribe about my love for 2001: A Space Odyssey, which is indeed just a lot of time pointing at certain things.
It don't get to the point. Listen, maybe that's just I was born and raised in New York. Maybe that's just my quick pace, like, New Yorker.
You gotta get to the crap.
Like, I don't want to hear it. Just tell me, what do you need? How can we solve this? Let's get it done. And that's how I want my movies.
You're gonna enjoy Puss in Boots.
Love
The
that.
Last Wish, because that got right to the point.
Let's do it.
And great pace. And a lot of fun.
Perfect.
I'm shamelessly plugging Puss in Boots.
Go see it.
The Last Wish. Great. Now, Diana, I always like to wrap up the show by letting my guests ask me a question.
Oh.
So what would you like to ask the Wasteland Reviewer?
Okay. What I would like to ask you, maybe because it's similar to what you asked me, kind of like the unreleased movies I'm looking for, but what you know on movies coming out in 2023, because you are such a cinephile and movie expert, what recommendations based off what would you know, like what you already know, would you give to our viewers?
So, 7, 21, 23 is going to be a day. The only reason that's etched in my head is because, God, I keep seeing it all over social media because of Oppenheimer. Even Robert Downey Jr. posted it just like 7, 21, 23.
Yeah.
So not only is Oppenheimer coming out that day, which, like, if you're a Nolan fan, you're probably going to love it, is Barbie.
Yes.
Speaking of 2001: A Space Odyssey, I loved that teaser trailer that they dropped for Barbie.
So good. My mom was cracking up.
And I'm just sitting there just like, if Margot Robbie was my Barbie when I was a kid, I'd definitely be playing with that too. And, oh my God, and just the beautiful people.
Yeah.
Like, cue Marilyn Manson song, because just like seeing all these gorgeous people in this film, because like, my God, I can't wait for the first musical number where Ryan Gosling and all of his bros are singing, because just that shot from the trailer, I'm just like, this is an aesthetic, because like they had it's the actor who played Malcolm X in One Night in Miami, who's there. And then it's the new Doctor Who, who's from Sex Education, right next to him.
Yeah, I love him.
And I'm just looking at this shot, I'm like, this is gorgeous. But, and like the shot of Shimu Liu, who looks like he's doing some kind of grease dance. Just, I can't wait. Will Ferrell's in this movie. And just, that looks amazing.
It's going to be a banger.
I am one of the biggest Mission Impossible fans you're probably ever going to meet. And I cannot wait to see how many times Tom Cruise almost dies watch tried to film Dead Reckoning Part 1.
Oh my god.
Because they just keep getting better. It's inexplicable how this franchise keeps getting better. Because Mission Impossible Fallout is one of the best action movies of this century. And I can't wait for the new one. Dune Part 2's coming out. Speaking of action movies, John Wick, Chapter 4, him and Donnie Yen are literally having a gun and a katana fight where they're shooting at each other and blocking each other's bullets with their swords.
Sick.
And I'm just like, I think this is the most manly, macho thing I've ever seen in a movie trailer ever.
It's like, I could never do that in real life, but respect for you.
Respect. Keanu Reeves could probably do it in real life. And probably Donnie Yen. Because Keanu Reeves could actually kill you.
Yeah.
There's that. Those are the films that really stick out to me, except the crown jewel, Killers of the Flower Moon.
Okay.
Because Martin Scorsese has a new film coming out next year. It was supposed to come out this year, and then it got pushed back for Cannes.
Oh.
So that it could... They want to do the same release like they did for Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Okay.
Come out in the festivals at the end of the spring, and then plop right at the beginning of the summer in the theaters. And I'm like... And it's also an Apple TV Plus film, so it'll wind up on there too, because apparently nobody wants to give him money, except streaming services.
Well, there you have it.
Well, he's making almost a $200 million Western in 2023 coming out. So, and, you know, I'm a big Marvel fan too, and you have like Ant-Man Quantumania coming out.
Yeah.
Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, which I anticipate crying. Based off of what I think is going to happen in this movie. But all these things, there's so many movies to be excited about in 2023. So
amazing.
It's going to be a big year. Ari Aster has a new film coming out.
Yes, I'm pumped for that.
I wish they kept it Disappointments Boulevard, because I'm like, what the hell's this new title?
Yeah, you know what? I noticed that, and I didn't put two and two together, but I was like, I feel like something's off here, and it was the title. And
I'm waiting for that to be a de-aged Joaquin Phoenix playing a child, and being really perturbed by that fact.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of exciting things to come out. Great question. Hopefully all of you go out and check out a bunch of these
will.
movies.
I know it.
There you go.
Maybe.
I know I will, because I see everything.
I know he will too.
There you go. But Diana, thank you so much for coming.
Thank you. This was fun.
Absolutely. And I'm glad that we got to do this in person.
IRL, as the kids say.
Yes. I don't...
He does not.
No. So, I wasn't cool when I was 20. Definitely not cool now I'm 31. But thank you again.
Of course.
And thank all of you for always tuning in and supporting your Wasteland Reviewer.